I came to Ringen a year ago, and since I end up doing a lot of industrial processes in my work, I was familiar with the area, and I thought it might be a place where I could find a working space for a relatively cheap price. So I started knocking on doors and looking in windows and trying to get a feeling for who was working here and how I could get a space. My name is Porcarelli, and I'm working with art and design and craft. And some of the projects I'm working with right now they're very social orientated and have to do with communication. And so I'm using design and sculpture and craft as tools to build spaces and define ways for people to interact and be creative. I come from Seattle, Washington, and I came to Sweden because I found out about a school called Stenneby. It's part of Hodoko, and it has a fabulous workshop, and it gives students a chance to have theoretical work as well as sculptural work together, and that's a really unique thing, and it was a great place for me to come to and expand the kinds of work that I've been developing at, and it helped give me time to put those things together, the ideas and the making, and that's what I'm working with now. My strategy for making a living as an artist since I've been in Sweden is basically to work twice as much for half the pay. It's not an advisable way of doing it, I'd say, but it's got me to where I am now, where I don't have to work quite as much, still more than I should. But I take a lot of different kinds of projects because I've worked as a professional structural designer, and I can do some metalworking processes, and I can write and I can draw. So any of these kinds of skills that I can connect with people and work on projects, then that's how I do it. I'm always looking for different ways of working with people, and I think of my skills as competencies that can be used in different ways. So really I'm collaborating a lot, and I'm doing my own projects a lot. So it's a lot of finding work and juggling the projects. Comparing the creative work in the US and Sweden is a little tricky because the size of the countries is so different and different cultures. But something that exists more in the US that is more of private markets for art and a more open way of using skills. And here there's a really great system, especially for people that want to work and have art together, and that works for a lot of people. But if somebody wants to do art or design or creative practice full time, it gets tricky because stipendiums and grants and exhibitions they don't pay enough to support one's even a minimal lifestyle.